Facebook Live. We are talking about autoimmune illnesses. Autoimmune. It's a term that perplexes a lot of people. We hear it. We see it in the news. We see it on the cover of magazines at the grocery store. And yet a lot of people don't really understand it. I find, and I love our medical community, but I find our medical community is perplexed by it. And we work with it a lot in Eden Energy Medicine. Many of you know that my mom is Donna Eden. She healed herself of a very serious autoimmune illness called multiple sclerosis. It's one of the main autoimmune illnesses that the medical community is sort of confused by. And you'll hear the medical community say that these illnesses can't be cured. Well, I'm just going to say that we see differently in energy. So we're going to talk about energy today, what we see, how we work with it. Margie is your expert today. She is an advanced practitioner. She's been with us, gosh, Margie, over 20 years, right?
I met your mom exactly 20 years ago, and I was just teaching in Omega, and I realized I met her at that exact seminar 20 years ago. And the only reason I took her class, I had no idea about energy work, was that I would get continuing ed credits for my massage license. And I said, well, it was the only class that would give me CEs. And I said, well, let's check it out. And 3 weeks later, I was at a 5-day class, and the rest is history.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's wonderful. I love that serendipity. And I'm so glad you found us. And you were a TA for us for years at Omega in New York. Of course, you've been at many, many, many workshops with us, and your wisdom is so valuable to us. And we thank you so much for being here today. And so really, thank you. And thank you to all of our viewers. So Margie, let us start with autoimmune, what it is, what it means, how does it differ from other illnesses? I have to say really fast that I went on the internet to look at the top autoimmune illnesses. There are over 100. It was mind-boggling. So let's talk about that. And then you are going to share a story with us that sort of blew my mind this morning when you told me. I mean, I've been in this work since I was a little girl. My mom started teaching me meridians and chakras when I was 7. And your story blew me away this morning. So you're going to share that. But let's start at the beginning. What is autoimmune? What is this illness?
Okay, so much to say. So the medical world understands what is happening, but they don't know why. And they don't really know how to change it from the bottom up. So basically, this is another one of those giant categories of illnesses that the Western medical world only understands how to manage symptoms. One thing that blew my mind is that my sister actually has MS. I don't know if you knew that, very mild case. And she was on a medication for 10 years. And when I looked at the fine print, it said that with this medication, she was 27 times more likely to get cancer because it suppressed the immune system, which is something we need. That's fine print to me. That was pretty important to see. So autoimmune is under one of those categories of idiopathic, meaning it happens, but they don't know why. And basically what happens is that regardless of the disease, the immune system starts to recognize the body as an enemy and attack it. So we all know that we need a powerful immune system to fight off. I mean, our immune system is at this very moment killing cancer cells, killing pathogens, keeping us safe from all sorts of pathogens that we could be susceptible to. But it goes into overdrive with autoimmune and starts to recognize our actual bodies as something that is dangerous, and it starts attacking. And again, the medical world does not know why. So I look at autoimmune. So I must have looked at the same exact website because I saw the top 100 diseases. And it's amazing how common they are compared to 20 or 30 years ago. We never heard about a lot of these things. Now it's rampant. So I look at autoimmune as more of a syndrome where the body has started to look at itself again as something unsafe and starts to defend and attack against it. But the reason to me there's so many different diseases is depending on what our inherent nature is or where our fault lines are as humans, that's where it lands in the body. So for example, if I tend to have a weakness in my skin, then if I get that autoimmune syndrome, I might get scleroderma, or I might get vitiligo, or I might get psoriatic arthritis. If my weak spots are my digestive system, then maybe I get Crohn's or maybe I get celiac. If it's in the nervous system, MS, etc. And you kind of get the picture here. So, but regardless of where it lands in the body, the syndrome is still the same. The body recognizes itself as something dangerous and starts to attack itself. And basically the way the medical world approaches this is to suppress the immune system. And I think not that I think we can do better, I know we can do better, and I've seen us do better. So I'll give a pause there in case you have any other comments, or I can continue unwinding this with you.
Thank you, Margie. That is such a helpful and useful way to explain it. I so appreciate that. I want to let you know, because you cannot see Facebook right now, I can see it on my phone, that a lot of people are appreciating what you said. And we have Terry and Chris and Karen watching. We have Lisa from Milford and Carolyn from San Antonio. We have Denmark. We have France. And so you are reaching a lot of people with what you just explained. So thank you, because it can get really confusing. So I think as people are listening, they're probably wondering, well, I don't know if I can help my autoimmune or my friend's autoimmune or my mom's autoimmune illness, because maybe I'm not versed enough in energy healing. I'm not an energy healer. Can you talk about our techniques, energy healing techniques, and how very doable and user-friendly they are to help autoimmune?
Absolutely. So when I talk about Western versus Eastern, and I want to put this out there, sometimes we have to take medications. And I want to say to all of you, if you're in a serious situation, we are not telling you not to take your meds. But I think we can all agree, if we could be just as healthy or healthier and take less and less, all of us would want to move in that direction. So I just want to put that out there. So when I look at East versus West, energy versus the medical world, I look at energy healing is what I call a creative approach. It's a creative healing process. We are looking at the energetic patterns in the body that are creating this illness, and we look to shift the energies at that level so that our bodies and emotions express differently. Western medicine I call reactive healing. We look at the symptoms that occur as a result of that creative process, and we try to shut them down. And we all know, I always use this example, if I need to talk to somebody and I'm upset and they say, oh, leave me alone, talk to me tomorrow, and they keep telling me that, my need to express increases exponentially. So when we shut down symptoms, the body has that same sensation. Whereas if someone says, oh my gosh, you're upset, tell me everything. Before we even start to talk, we feel better. So as energy people, we are deeply listening and tracking what is happening in the energies that is creating this illness and following that. And the body feels better immediately from that, from being attended to, rather than being told to shut up, basically. So, and you know, you can go pretty deep with the energy work, but what I want to say to everyone is Donna has created our daily energy routine, which is one of the most simple, succinct, and powerful approaches of ways to change our foundational energies that I've ever seen, which is, of course, why I do this work. So everyone can start there, and it takes 5 minutes. And even if you can't do the whole thing, you can start by doing a little bit at a time. And, is doing the DER going to cure your autoimmune? I don't know, but I absolutely know it's going to make you healthier, make your body function better, and give your body that deep sensation of being listened to. Now, obviously, people can work with practitioners, people can go deeper and deeper, but you people, I feel comfortable saying this, we are healthier when our energies are balanced, and it can be as simple as just tapping a few spots on your body. So the class is going to be teaching you lots of techniques. And one of the things we added to the end of the class is how to go forward with it. So lots and lots of ways to make the information you've gotten as easy to bring into your life as humanly possible. And I am confident that we are going to be successful in that.
Awesome. Thank you, Margie. So let me just say, we're teaching a class. We hadn't said that yet. So we are teaching a class on autoimmune. I'll tell you just a little bit about this right now. And then Margie, I really want you to share your incredible story. But the class, you can see in the comments, we are sharing the links to the class, and you can click on those links at every time. Those links will tell you everything, when the class is, how long it goes. There's always a recording if you can't make it live. This will be a live class in November. If you can't make it live, we always give you all the recordings. And one of the greatest things about this company, about Eden Energy Medicine, is we want you to take classes that fit for you. So if you take this class and you think, you know what, it wasn't really for me, no worries. You contact us, we give you all your money back. It is no questions asked, guaranteed you get your money back. And that's because my mom, Donna Eden, her husband, David, our entire staff, we want you to find the energy healing that works for you. So we'll talk more about the class. Oh, and I do have to say, Margie, we're having a super early bird right now. And so I do have to throw in that you get 40% off the class if you sign up by tomorrow night, midnight Pacific time. That's Friday night, midnight Pacific time. When I say Pacific, that means California, Oregon, Washington, for everybody in other parts of the world. We'll get into that in a little bit. What I'd like to talk about right now is that it's interesting to me when I hear the medical community, and it's sad to me when I hear the medical community say that autoimmune can't be cured. We don't cure in Eden method, we balance energies. But when we balance energies, we have incredible results. Margie, share the story that you shared with me this morning.
Okay, I will. So Donna had asked me to just tell an anecdote of someone I'd worked with. And this was the most astounding result I've ever had with someone. I had a woman come in, mid-20s, with this hideous, itchy, flaky, flaming red rash. She'd had it for about 8 weeks. The doctors had no clue. I'd never seen anything like it, so I took pictures. We did one session, which was basically working on her foundational energies of the daily energy routine, and one of the main systems we're going to be talking about in the class. So I showed Donna before and after pictures, and I'm going to show them to you. No faces, just the body. So she came in looking like that. So that was one part. And then she had this also kind of hideous patch on her arm. So she was miserable. A week later, this is what we had. That was from one, she made me look like a rock star. One session balancing basic energies. She did 10 minutes of homework a day, and that's how she came back. Now, are we saying that every single person who goes for one session and does 10 minutes of homework a day is that's going to happen for? Of course not. People, all results vary. but it does show you what is possible. And that is possible. It's a photo. I promise all of you, I did not Photoshop it. So anyway, I think a picture says 1,000 words, and in this case, about 10,000.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And I have seen these types of cases. I have heard these stories for years. I have witnessed them myself, and they blow my mind every time. I don't know why I still feel like energy medicine is a miracle, because it's not a miracle. It's balancing your energies. And when your energies are balanced in your body, then you aren't going to be susceptible to those illnesses that can get to us. But that was great. Thank you, Margie. I want to talk a little bit about why you think energy work works so well for autoimmune illnesses, because my mom always says, oh my gosh, energy medicine is the best for autoimmune. It's just the best. I wouldn't do anything else. But can you talk to us about why? Why is it the best? Why does it work so well? And with many people, work quickly. Again, as Margie said, some people have longer journeys. That's okay. That's your journey. And you will discover all sorts of things on your journey that might take a little bit longer. There's nothing wrong with that. But often, when you start bringing energy healing into your life to work with your autoimmune illness, it's quick. How does it work so well?
Well, here's my thoughts on the matter. So we're going to talk in the class about a really foundational energy system that Donna works with triple warmer and spleen, which I know are just words to a lot of you now, but it is the energetic foundation of what creates autoimmune. And I think one of the reasons why autoimmune is so rampant right now is that most of us deal with way more stress and way more tension than we are meant to deal with. I would say that 90% of my clients, before I can get anywhere else, I need to deal with that hypervigilant fight or flight response that all of us are living in. This meridian is the meridian that is the energetic version of our physical fight or flight. It reacts in the same way, in that defensive way. So I think that one reason, so again, that's why I believe we're having so many autoimmune diseases now, because we're living in that state. But the reason it works is because energy medicine aligns with our natural God-given drive to be well, to thrive. It is natural for us to be healthy. It's natural for us to be relaxed and happy and to be healthy. Of course, we're humans. We're going to get sick at some point, and I think we're all going to die. So far, that's the evidence. And but the journey can be completely different. So when we work with these energies, I feel that it heals us on a very foundational and deep level. The disease is just the expression of this hyperactive feeling of stress, this stress and fight or flight that we're living with. So when you start to balance that, we have this deep sense of aligning with our really true being, of being self-healing humans. And we're just aligning with that in a deep and powerful way. And I think that it's because autoimmune is an expression of that deep imbalance. When we start to bring the energies on board, there was a sensation of coming home almost to the way we're supposed to be. So from that point, we can heal almost anything in the body when we start to flip that fight or flight, that vigilance, to a feeling of safety, to a feeling of hopefulness, and a feeling that we have authority over our own experience. To me, it feels like we're bringing people home.
Yes, I agree. And do you think that is also why when people come into energy medicine, some people come in with multiple autoimmune illnesses, and they come to us because, let's say, they want to heal their lupus, not concentrating on their type 1 diabetes, but the type 1 diabetes also isn't in their life anymore. Both heal. The multiple illnesses that someone can get heal. Is that part of it, that
Yes.
all the systems are balanced?
Yes, because also we all know the feeling that if we have a weakness in one part of our body and we don't address it, very often there's a cascade that other things start doing not as well. So if you have that energetic imbalance that leads us to autoimmune, the first place it lands might be in our biggest weak spot. But then the body starts to get used to functioning in this out of balance way. And then it goes to the next one down the line and the next one down the line. So it's just like weeds sprouting in different parts of the garden, that when we have this foundational imbalance of the body looking at itself in an unsafe way, it just starts to sprout. But the beautiful thing is, just as you were describing, when we start to heal one, the other starts to do better. It's almost like if you're dehydrated and your systems aren't doing so well, if you hydrate, everything starts doing better. I mean, I've seen this throughout my life as a practitioner, that someone comes to me for insomnia and I work on that, and all of a sudden they're digesting better. So when you bring the whole body into balance, it starts to express in a lot of different ways. And if we're out of balance, it starts to express in a lot of different ways.
Yes, yes. Margie, I'm looking at my phone because I have Facebook on my phone, so I can watch us and I can see you here. I see that
Awesome.
yes, it is awesome. Technology is awesome. We have about 80 people watching, and I'm curious if, for you folks watching, would you put in the comments, if you would like to share, of course you don't have to, but if you'd like to, what autoimmune illness are you working with? Are you trying to get past? Are you trying to heal in yourself? Or do you have a friend or a family member and you're thinking, I really want to help my dad. I really want to help my friend with her psoriasis. Put that in the comments. I'd be really curious to see what some of these are in our community. We know there are top 10 autoimmunes on every website you go to about autoimmune, but I'd like to see what some of our people are struggling with. And while people are putting those in the comments, Margie, would you be willing to share maybe one technique with us? I know in the class in early November, and we're putting links in the comments for that class so you can see it, you're going to share a lot of techniques, easy, doable, user-friendly techniques that people will be able to take away for the rest of their lives. But could you maybe share one with us today for people who might be suffering and struggling?
I would love to.
Yay!
Yes. So one of the things I'm going to be teaching in the class is dealing with the emotional aspect of autoimmune, because when we have a meaningful illness, it is so hard emotionally to deal with. Now we have this triple warmer meridian I mentioned that is kind of the heart of autoimmune. So I thought I would show folks how to hold points that deeply calm the triple warmer. And it's very easy. And the reason I picked this is that not only will it help you start giving this meridian the idea that it doesn't have to work so hard, but it also will really calm the emotional aspect that goes with it, that emotional anxiety and distress. So I thought that'd be a good double whammy. And then I'm going to show folks how to tap the meridian point that's going to start to kick in what they call the mother meridian, the spleen meridian that governs our healing. So I think I wore the wrong necklace for this, but I think we could make it work. You're just going to take the soft tips of a few fingers and put them in that soft notch of your throat. And the other hand, just lay on the temples. And I'm just going to lean on my elbow. And these will really calm that hypervigilance. This is also really great if, like me, when I'm upset, I can wake up at night and then the scary loop starts going in my mind. It's very easy just to lay on your side and hold these points. You can hold it for a minute. You can hold it for 20 minutes. And if you're into it, you can switch and then go to the other side. But you could just want to let you know You can hold this point, you can hold combinations, you can hold these guys, any which way you mix and match it is good. Then after you do that and triple warmer gets a little calmer, I would say hold it for at least a minute or so. You want to give it a chance to unwind. Even 2 or 3 is better. Then we're going to tap some points that will activate your spleen meridian. Again, Chinese medicine calls it the mother meridian. It takes whatever healing resources you have and sends it where you need it. So this point is located under the chest, on the rib cage, and you're just going to clump a few fingers together and thump there with a little bit of percussion. If it's not uncomfortable, give it a good whack like I'm doing, but just know that it is uncomfortable, just lighten it up. And some people actually don't love that percussive feeling, so just take your fingers and rub, and that works just as well. If it's tender, that lets you know you need it. So don't hurt yourself, but go right to the edge a little bit of discomfort will show that you're really addressing it. So again, if you first hold any combination of these calming points for triple warmer, and then you thump or rub spleen, you are bringing those 2 main systems that are the foundation, the energetic foundation of autoimmune. You're going to start to invite them into balance.
Wonderful. And Margie, remind the viewers when they can do this. When would somebody do these?
All day, every day.
Yes.
So this is what I do. If I have something that I really want to start to shift, I will say every time I go to the bathroom, I'm going to do this and then do this. Or every time I look at the computer, which is many times a day. And it takes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and you will start to really invite and coax these energies to a healthier pattern. You really can't overdo these. These are very, very healthy for you to do. It's going to start bringing those major energies into balance. We're going to learn a lot more in-depth techniques in the class, but this is a really easy way to start to open that door. And who knows, maybe you'll be sending us before and after photos that can rock our world.
Absolutely. And Margie, could our viewers do these on somebody else?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's so great. We all know what it feels like to have someone else do something for us rather than for ourselves. So if you have a loved one nearby and you can put your head in their lap or put you on the bed or the sofa and hold any combination of these points, and this is a very gentle touch, I'm not pressing at all, and then rub these guys, it would be awesome, because then you get the love as well as the energy balancing techniques.
It is awesome. And I'll tell you what I do. I have a teenage son who doesn't want to have anything to do with energy medicine right now. So when he's sleeping, and I have told him, I have said, when you're sleeping, I might do some things around you. And he's like, that's fine. I'm asleep. I don't care. And it's a really great way for the body to take in this healing energy when someone's sleeping. I know that I have a friend and she says, my husband's always busy and he never wants me to do techniques on him, but he knows I'll do them when he's sleeping. And whenever I do them when he's sleeping, he says he wakes up in a better mood. He wakes up with more energy. He has a better day. So this is fantastic. Margie, I want to give you some results of the question I asked about what autoimmune illnesses people are dealing with. And I wrote some of them down. We had IBS, celiac, Parkinson's, diabetes, psoriasis, colitis. I think I saw almost more than any other. I think the top 2 that I've seen just scrolling through are probably Hashimoto's and lupus. I think I saw quite a lot. And our heart goes out to all of you who are struggling with these or who have loved ones who are struggling with these. Energy work is so good for everything I just mentioned. We have a class coming up November 5th and 6th. Margie will be one of your teachers live. We have another teacher who will be teaching with Margie. Her name is Adriana Barraza, and they will teach together for 2 days. You do not have to be there if you're like, oh my gosh, I have a wedding, or I have to work that weekend, or I'm on vacation. We give you all the recordings. It's a full money back guarantee as well. If you find you watched the class, you didn't really get into it, it wasn't for you, full money back guarantee. And if you sign up before tomorrow night at midnight Pacific time, you get 40% off. We're running a super early bird sale right now, and we're so excited. We already have over 500 people who have signed up, and we would love to have you as well. Margie, let's see, do we have anything else right now that we want to cover? I know people will be so happy to have the technique that you taught. More people will watch this as this recording goes around Facebook and YouTube. And thank you for that. Thank you for all of the wisdom you have shared. The link to the class is in the comments. And Margie, we just love you, and we're so happy you were with us today.
Thank you, Dondi. It is such, I can't believe that this is my job. I'm just so lucky to get to help people feel, I always say this, energy work gives you power and authority over your own experience. What is better than that? Because so often that feeling of helplessness and hopelessness comes along with getting a serious diagnosis. And to feel that there's something you can do to affect your own experience is amazing. And I just wanted to add that, you know, for those of you who are listening because you have loved ones with these illnesses, learning even these simple techniques that you can help someone with, really help them in their distress, is such an amazing feeling. So I just wanted to pop that in there too. Not only can you do it for yourself, but when you're someone on the sidelines, it's amazing to have tools that you can use. So you are going to learn a lot, folks, and I cannot wait to show you all of these amazing techniques.
Fantastic. Thank you, Margie. Thank you to everyone who is with us. Thank you to Carrie, who's helping us actually get this onto Facebook so you can see it. We appreciate all of you. We hope you have a wonderful rest of your day or evening. We will see you in the class in November, and we're looking forward to it. Thank you, everybody.